Hey guys, today I want to talk about moving forward, about that growth, and I really want to look at that from an angle of where the Lord wants us to be, because that is the key thing. We can enact these things in our life. We can become a better person, mentally, physically, emotionally. But if we neglect that spiritual component, everything we do is all for nothing. So we really need to make sure that spiritual component is number one in our life. And the question was posed to me a little while ago. It was asked, if a person is growing into a man of God, what are three things that I would recommend that they would be able to do that better? And I don't really think that there is a difference here between the woman of God growing into a woman of God or growing into a man of God. I think that these key things can be applied to the believer's life, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, no matter. And I think the first fundamental key aspect that we should always consider is to have a relationship with the Lord. And that looks like reading your Bible. That looks like praying. That looks like worshiping. That looks like spending time with the Father. And that is key. You need to have a relationship with God. Now, secondly, you need to have a relationship with a mentor or another Christian believer. You need to have a close relationship with them, and they need to have a relationship with God. It should be the triangle of three. A cord of three is not quickly broken. We need to have a relationship with another believer, and then we need to include in that relationship with our Father, and truly that should be the foundational piece. If anything is being included in that relationship, it should be the relationship you have with the other believer. And that other believer may be your spouse, maybe your husband, maybe your wife, it, it may be a mentor or a therapist, as it is for me. I have a Christian mentor, and I'm planning on starting therapy again this week. So those things need to happen in our life. Now, third thing, to go back. First, have a relationship between you and the Father. Secondly, have a relationship between you, a Christian brother, sister, whoever, and have a relationship with God. Third thing, have a relationship with the community. So, small group or church, whatever that may be, whatever kind of term. Maybe it's not a small group. Maybe it's a Bible study or uh, a after church group. And maybe there's a different name you use for it, but that the name does not matter as long as you are in fellowship with other believers. That is so important. It is so important to maintain fellowship with other Christians and to not forsake meeting together. So, to recap, number one, it's so important. It is foundational to have a relationship between you and God. Number two, have a relationship between you, one other person, and God. Number three, have a relationship between you and a body of believers, like the church or a small group, just for example. But your foundational piece should always be having a relationship with the Father.